Hello mga palangga! Today is the 25th day after ng double knee surgery ng baba ko. Dumating na yung home health PT niya para i-assist siya sa kanyang routine exercises.
Yeah, I mean, you first wake up and you haven't been moving. That tends to be, your progress isn't so great. There's like a power band, I always say. Okay. It's like where you first get on the gas, you're not making all your horsepower, but then you kind of come into the power band where you make a lot of power, but then, it never stays up that high before it comes down. Those knees are moving better now. Okay. But it doesn't. It's not going to.
It's just something tweaks.
Feel that way? That's the way I've had it explained to me.
This one looks like
there you go. And then what you're trying to do, you're not trying to step up, you're trying to drive that knee forward.
At the same time?
Absolutely at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
You can do it.
That's bending pretty good.
She doesn't like that though.
No, but I mean, that's going to get your knees to function the way they need to.
Right. Yeah, this is the slow one.
Can't be nice and comfy all the time.
How's that?
I'd like to see you do it 9 more times. How's that? Just do a couple more, like anyway. I mean, yeah, if I was allowed to survive in my dream world, I would have you do it 9 more times. But that's okay. A few more.
Sometimes mga palangga medyo lazy siya doing his daily exercises. So I have to push him and remind him na kailangan gawin niya yung daily exercises niya to help him para makarecover siya faster.
I can't see what my left leg is doing.
You're doing everything I want you to do. And yeah, I mean, that is getting you where you want to be. Jackie had you at the right knee at 108 degrees, which I agree. It's probably, you got maybe 110 on the right. The left isn't moving that bad. Yeah, it's stiffer, but you're close. You're close. Now, what happens, Pat, if you put that left foot up on the second step? Is that a bridge too far, or you think you can try to get there?
No, I'm feeling a lot up my thigh, my upper thigh. It's not in the knee at all.
Mm-hmm. But that soft tissue, that quadricep muscle, that's where all your tension is. That looks pretty good, man. Now bend that right knee a little bit. There you go. Oh yeah, that'll do it. That's bending nice. Okay. All right, that's it. I'm gonna let you get out of that position carefully. That's all they like, yeah. All right, try this.
So what I should do? What 10?
10. I think 10's the magic rule because normally it's like I could ask you to do 12 or I could ask you to do 15. It's very easy for me to just tack on more. Yeah. But really what I would prefer is you to kind of conceptually get what I'm trying to go for here. And the idea should be, well, I don't feel the need to pack on more squats, but what I would prefer to do instead is see the depth of your squat improve, so that your tolerance to doing this at a higher intensity level is better. Like, in the order of operations, I would rather you be able to do a deeper squat prior to being able to do another 3 repetitions at the exact same level, And that's kind of true for most of these exercises. I kind of want the quality first before I want to just pack on more.
Put more on.
Yeah, and so
if the more comes, that's fine, but let's work on the
because squat. you can take the exercise and probably fine tune it so it's more effective before you just pack on more. I want to see you doing this one, where you're picking the knees up nice and high. You can, I like this spot because you can hold on to 2 different points of contact. But let me see you try that one.
Okay. I showed these to Jackie. Oh, I like those.
Yeah, that looks good. I mean, if you hadn't have told me, if you hadn't have told me that you had that incident where you got up and then you had the acute pain in that knee and the swelling came and the bruising, if you didn't make me aware of that, I wouldn't have been aware of it. Because by fast forward till today, and there's no sign that there was ever a speed bump. You've kind of
there's no hiccup.
No, your progress looks pretty good.
Well, I know it's shaped funny now, but as long as everything is functioning the way it's
It's
supposed
shaped funny.
to. Yeah, it's like I have 3 kneecaps instead of.
All right. Well, when we go back, I'll look at it closer because I didn't really look at it closer. I kind of wanted to see how it's functioning, and it's functioning at a level that to me seems comparable to when I saw it last.
And this one, you can see there's a nice definite, and it drops down. Whereas compared to, and the wounds themselves look great, But this one here, I have a bump here, and a bump here. So, obviously, only one of them is a kneecap, though.
Yeah. Well, when we sit down, I'll kind of palpate that out and see what's what.
Yeah, actually, the wife, we're going to go out, and the wife couldn't get the car to move, even though it was plowed.
Yeah.
Getting stuck there.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we had the gas stove. That's what was our backup heat.
Yeah. We've got a wood stove for back.
Oh, good, yeah.
I haven't burned a lot of wood, though. All right. Yeah, go ahead and put your feet up. And then if you can you roll those pant legs up as high as you can? So I can have a look here. Now, did you have an incision there previously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This one had 2 surgeries previously. This one had 1 big surgery. And then the last surgery this one has was an arthroscopic. And they were all for excess cartilage behind the kneecaps. And it was just a repetitious thing that kept me out of the army service.
Okay.
This one feels great. I mean, I haven't had feeling in this kneecap in years. And I have good feeling to the touch now.
Okay. You'll get it back on this side, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
One of the things that I want you to do that's real easy, and it shouldn't bother you too much, these incisions are healed well enough that we can do like a scar tissue mobilization. So, your body builds scar tissue. That's just kind of that's a broad term. It's not specific to the level at which we're trying to describe. Like, you can build scar tissue in your skin, in your muscle tissue, in your connective tissue, all of the above. But this incision is specific just to the skin. However, because you've got this big, thick scar going over the top of your knee, that is something that can kind of interfere with your ability to bend your knee. Because it's kind of remember when you had your bandages over the knee?
Yeah.
It felt like it was kind of hard to...
wicked. I said, I got to get this out. I can't do exercises with these things on.
So this scar will actually kind of have some of the same kind of limitations.
Okay.
So what you can do is what I'm doing right now. And what I'm doing is I'm just pressing my thumb into the incision and I'm rolling it around.
Yeah, okay.
And what's happening is when scar tissue forms, when it's trying to heal itself, and the body's trying to heal itself, you just throw on collagen on top of itself like this. And it's not, in an organized pattern. But if you move it and stretch it, if it gets stretched, it gets broken up until it eventually goes back into this more kind of uniform layering system. And you can do that by doing what I'm doing right now.
Okay, that's good to know.
Where you just kind of go right down the incision. And I'm essentially just stretching the area of the skin where this incision is. And by doing that, we're going to start to kind of break up the scar tissue in the skin, which will be to your benefit.
Yep.
Okay?
It's dry.
That's good to know.
This is still pretty thick.
This is still glue.
There's still that is glue.
It's not actually dry. It's glue.
A lot of it is glue flaking off still. Yeah.
If I were to get one of those vibrating things and just go over this muscle,
wouldn't hurt. I mean, I don't. I don't. It's not a part of my spiel to come in and tell people they have to buy them, but it wouldn't make anything any worse.
Right.
It's like the other day. It's a swollen here, isn't it?
Yes.
So, yeah.
And bruised.
Bruises are nice.
But this is a lot
done.
Lot better than it was, and then
I believe you.
It's almost as good as what the last time you were here. The bruising is down that much, so I mean this bruising is gone.
I mean, you still have a lot of edema,
swelling. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still some swelling on it.
See, this is your kneecap that I'm moving.
Oh, okay.
That has to move the way I'm moving it right now.
Okay, up and down. That's what Jackie kept saying. Yeah, your kneecap's not moving. You have to make it.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, it's moving now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's moving the way it should. I don't have any problems with that.
Okay, that's what we want to hear.
It's not very big. It's not painful.
No.
It's not the most comfortable thing, right? But it's not like it doesn't make you want to need to jump out of the chair. I mean, you still got a lot of swelling on there.
Yeah, and that's what was throwing me off, is as much swelling as there is that I couldn't.
I'm bringing that bruising right out of it now. I mean, but everything anatomically feels fine. Like, it doesn't. I don't think there's been any like major structural changes. Your kneecap is absolutely intact. Good. It does ride differently.
It does,
and I don't know. Pursuti would be the only one that would know. What kind of changes have taken place in this knee as a part of the wear and tear prior to the surgery, because your kneecap is your kneecap. That's not a prosthetic.
Right.
But you had issues with your kneecap.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, to me, this kneecap doesn't. They're not symmetrical. But they move fine. They function as they should. I don't need to read into that too much. But you have a lot of swelling in there.
Now, the cap itself is part of the artificial assembly, isn't it?
No, it's yours.
Oh, really? It's the original?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you'd have to verify that with Dr. Pursuti to make sure. What I mean is, normally, unless he has to, what he does is he kind of flips your kneecap over, he buffs it down so it's really smooth on the inside, and then he brings it back in place.
Gets all the bone spurs out.
There are, sometimes you have to have a prosthetic kneecap, but that's a much more involved surgery, and I saw no indication that he did that with you.
Okay.
And I don't think I don't think that one of these is a prosthetic.
You got very strong fingers there, fella.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, when you have a bruise, that's like the capillaries, which are the very most distal part of a blood vessel. They just rupture and they let go of that blood, and you see it kind of. That's what that discoloration underneath the skin is. And a part of me feels like, this is as much as you had pain and swelling with that last episode.
Yeah.
It may have been productive for you. I mean, I think that you just had so much scar tissue, and it's all just, it just pops and breaks free, and it's being broken up, and that may just be a part of your healing process. Yeah. Because I don't see any issue with it now.
Okay. That's what we like.
Can you try to straighten that knee a little bit and let it down? Go ahead. Down. Go ahead. Yeah. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And down. Go ahead.
I think I've got 3 more weeks before I go back to Vicetti.
Good. I'm pretty pleased with the way that's moving. Now go ahead and do it on this side. Hard. Good. And down. Just looking at the, how symmetrical is your quad activation. Go ahead. Good. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'll go back to my previous statement. If you hadn't told me that you had this issue with the bruising and the swelling, I wouldn't have known that you did. Your progress has remained on track since I saw you last. Your knee extension, I think, has improved since I saw you last. Your knee flexion's right there. It looks good. So, functionally speaking, I have no issues with where you're at with your rehab progress.